agenda. Are there any changes from staff for the meeting agenda?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Parisian. Just one update from me. It's for other business item 11A, the voucher disbursement report. The report is printed and available for viewing tonight. It was also emailed to council earlier today. And so that is the one item added from me tonight.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no or nay. That motion carries, so the meeting agenda is approved. So we'll move forward to item 6, the consent agenda. Pursuant to council rules, one motion, non-debatable, will approve the recommendation noted. Any member of the council may ask for an item to be taken from the consent agenda for discussion and separate action. Such items removed from the consent agenda shall be considered immediately following approval of the balance of the consent agenda. Council, are there any items that you would like to remove from the consent agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda?
I move we approve tonight's consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That motion carries. So what did we approve? We approved City Council meeting minutes from July 15th. We approved City Council work session meeting minutes from July 8th. We approved credit card charges and payments for May 2025. We acknowledged receipt of an investment report. We have selected and authorized payment for Manor Park playground equipment. We have waived the entertainment and rental permit fees for the Robbinsdale Public School event at Lakeview Terrace. We have accepted the quarterly financial information for general water, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and solid waste. We have approved a number of events, including the public safety open house, as well as the Gathering Community Church event and the annual Chamber of Commerce meet and greet. We have also approved a number of block party requests for National Night Out and state aid street closures. We have approved a quote for service connections at Oakdale Medical Buildings. We have approved a number of applications for upcoming events, including SIPE's Car Show, the Wheels of Italy event, and Sacred Heart Church Fun Fest. We have also approved a number of licenses, and we have authorized the city manager and mayor to execute a school resource officer agreement with the Robbinsdale School District. Moving on to presentations, there are none this evening. Next, public hearings, there are none. So we'll move to old business, item 9A, approve bids for Sanborn Park tennis and pickleball courts for project 23625.
Mayor Pro Tem and council members, good evening.
Good evening.
Council members would recall we discussed this particular issue a few meetings back at the June 17th meeting. At that time, there was still a number of outstanding issues for the bids that we received at that time. So the City Council resolved to reject all the bids, have the plans amended and the specifications amended, and then rebid the project. The reason for the amending of the plans was to better align with the potential for grant eligibility for the project. So the plans and specs were amended and we put the project out for re-advertisement. Last week, July 30th, new bids were received and we opened them here in the chamber. Now look at that, total of X bids were received. Well, we actually got more than X bids. It's a problem with reusing these old reports, I guess. We received 3 bids at that time. Those bids ranged from $421,700 odd dollars up to about $540,000. The engineer's estimate for this work is $349,300. We have attached the abstract of bids to the report for your information. The low bid is Sunram Constructions, and they're out of Corcoran, Minnesota. So the low bid that we received is above the $300,000 that's allocated in the CIP. However, the rec services manager is confident that we'll get $85,000 in grant monies from various tennis associations toward the project. So, subject to those grants being awarded to us, City Council would still be required to allocate an additional $40,000 for the construction and staff time to administer the work. I did reach out to the finance director about this, and he indicated that the additional funds can be managed within this year's capital improvement program. The city has worked with the low bidder before on previous projects for Robbinsdale, and the contractor has also done many other jobs in other cities, so therefore the contractor is deemed to be a responsible bidder. Construction is proposed to take about 30 days for this project, and that's outlined in the specifications. So at this stage, staff feel that this is the last opportunity that we'd be able to get the work completed, substantially completed in 2025. And depending on what the fall weather brings us, it's always a bit of a crapshoot, but it is possible that the coloured finish on the courts may have to wait until spring of next year if those temperatures as we get into the fall start to drop too quickly. Once a more detailed schedule is known, we will be sending letters out to the adjacent residents just to let them know of what's going on. Given that there is a substantial amount of the funding source subject to the award of grant monies, it's recommended that the award of the bid be subject to the city receiving notification that we have been successful in receiving those grant funds. You know, I guess the other option that I haven't written in here is the City Council could fund the entire amount, which would mean a lot more than the $40,000, be $125,000 worth of money, and gamble that they'd get the $85,000, or we can wait. I received information from the rec services manager that's probably going to be 2 weeks before we hear whether we're successful with the grant monies or not. So, sadly, that's going to take us further into probably September now before we can even get started. So the likelihood of that servicing being done is probably into the springtime of next year. If that's okay, we would recommend the resolution that is attached that does award the contract for construction to Sunram Construction, subject to receipt of notification that we were successful with the $85,000 in grant monies. And that's attached as, the resolution is in there as attachment 2 in your packet.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
I have a quick
Yes,
question.
Councilmember Greenberg.
So as far as the grants and getting this done in 2025, is there the risk that if this didn't get approved this year, does it mean like that those grants wouldn't be available, or is it possible we could reapply for the grants in 2026?
Councilmember Greenberg, that's a good question. I don't have a good answer for you. A lot of that has been handled by Matt, the Recreation Services Manager, so I'm a little out of the loop with the detail of that. I would expect that the tennis associations would have grant monies every year, and it's just a competitive process. The city manager might have more information.
Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Greenberg, thank you, Richard. His point is spot on. USDA, the group that does put these funds out, it is on a rolling basis, but year-to-year funding is sort of dependent on what they have available. So it's correct to say we don't know, but it's also correct to know or to assume that some funds will be available next year. As noted, Mr. McCoy makes the recommendation that with the securing of that funding is what we would ask to go forward with this. So that gives you that protection. If it does not happen, we can always start the process again next year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other
Question
questions?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, Councilmember Wagner.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Thank you, Richard. I was just curious on, so the estimate is, engineering estimate is 350 roughly, and then the low bid is 421. So can you maybe just add a little bit more detail on why there's kind of that gap of estimate and the low bid?
Sure. Councilmember Wagner, the projects like this, kind of out of our normal realm. We do really good with street construction projects and things like that because we have a good history of unit rates for things, for how much it costs to install a certain size pipe, how much it costs to put curb and gutter in, things like that. When we get into projects like putting in tennis courts and that, we don't do a lot of those, so we don't have a lot of good reference material to kind of work out our estimate. Given the prices that we received, our engineer's estimate probably should have been higher, but we just don't have good practice in working out the cost of things like this.
Gotcha. No, that's fair. And would you say that, is it a combination of kind of labor and materials, or is it just because we're kind of using, again, we're not familiar with the materials, maybe it's more on that side of things, or is it both that we're
Well,
adding to
generally, when we work out our estimating rates, the materials and the labour is kind of all lumped together to give either a per lineal foot or a per square yard cost. With this here, we've got a lot of fencing. We don't typically estimate a lot of chain link fencing. We've got the tennis court material itself, which we very rarely ever estimate for. The asphalt pad that it sits on and the concrete path in between, I think we'd have a pretty good handle of that. I haven't reviewed the abstracts in that much detail to see whether we're close or not. The thing about projects like this is now that we've got kind of a base on how much these things really do cost, now we can put that into our calculations next time we do a tennis court or something like that. The other thing to consider is prices at the moment are really, really difficult to estimate because things are just so volatile in the industry.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was alluding to. It seems like it's so hard to predict material prices across every sector. So I'm still happy to support the project even with this new kind of adjustment, and it's just exciting that the project is continuing forward and that we'll kind of see this, new and improved asset that people already love so much, and just being able to experience it in a new way.
Thank you. As a follow-up to Councilmember Wagner's question on sort of the delta in pricing, in looking at the abstract, I was curious about what those larger ticket items are, if you will. And one of them is called mobilization, and the other one is called the regrading of the site, which I can understand what that means. But mobilization looks like something that was estimated in the 2,500 range, and then it was 10 times more than that with the actual estimate. I'm just curious what your interpretation of mobilization is for the benefit of myself and maybe the public.
Certainly, Mayor Pro Tem. Mobilisation is basically the cost to get the guys and the equipment to the site.
Okay.
So to get any excavators or bulldozers or anything like that, they've got to put them on a low buoy, track them to the site, and then position them on the site. Get all the other bits and pieces set up. I don't know that erosion control is spelled out separately, but mobilisation is basically to get everything there.
Okay. Thank you. And I appreciate you saying that using this information will help inform future estimates, so that's good to hear too. But like others have said, I'm happy to support the project and glad to hear that we'll have an answer on the grant funding in the upcoming couple of weeks. Any other questions or discussion from council?
And one more question,
Yes.
just around, we had received bids and we went through the process of rejecting those bids, and I apologize, I feel like I should know this, but I'm just curious, like the difference between the low bid and that original pass that we rejected and the low bid now, is there a significant difference, or was that higher than what we estimated then as well?
The previous bids we received were significantly higher.
Okay.
They were in the order of 600 plus thousand. But the difference was at that time we had a concrete tennis court, whereas the Tennis Association is recommending, no, we don't want concrete unless it's post-stressed. And I don't know any post-stressed concrete tennis courts around here, but that's a hassle to do that. So the other option is to do an asphalt surface. So we went with that because it's an easier one to provide.
Yeah.
But the cost difference was significant.
Okay. Savings in the
Yeah,
second.
savings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so if there are no other questions or discussion from council, we're being asked to waive the reading and order the adoption of the attached resolution. So is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to waive the reading and order the adoption of the attached resolution awarding a contract for the construction of tennis pickleball court in Sanborn Park, City Project 23625 to Sunram Construction Co., Inc., of Corcoran, Minnesota, subject to the receipt of notification that the city has been successful in obtaining $85,000 in grant funds and authorizing an additional $40,000 of city funds for the project.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All of those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That motion passes. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard.
We will move on to new business. There is none tonight. For item 11A, other business, the voucher requests pending approval for disbursement. So we've received the voucher requests via email, and thank you, Councilmember Greenberg. We have a printed copy available. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the voucher disbursement request for August 4th, 2025.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That motion passes. So we will move next to administrative reports.
I'll start with mine tonight. I just kind of want to address, since we're missing two of our council members tonight. In the past, you've all had discussion about remote council meetings and allowing council members to join via interactive technology. I think there was questions from Councilmember Wagner in an email earlier about technology to do that, which we do have it set up and running in order to allow for one of the council members to join remotely. There's a little clunkiness around if someone's presenting at the podium and how that will necessarily kind of look on a Teams meeting for the virtual participant, but there's certainly ways around it in terms of certainly being prepared, having all of those presentations and things that would be supplied to them as well, so they can follow along as needed that way. So it's here, we can use it. I know that you all had like a policy discussion around this too, and I think I wasn't at that meeting, so Tim can maybe speak to that a little more, but it is available and ready to use if need be.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem, to segue from the city clerk's comment, I would note we did bring up there were some changes at the legislature this year. And when it comes to remote policy, you as a council have set your own policy, so it would have to be updated if you wanted to make those appropriate changes. As is, it's currently functional, but we'd have some opportunity to do so. We discussed this just briefly at the July work session, more of an update as to what the legislature provided by way of options for updating, but no action was taken. So if it's an item that council wants to bring back, we'd certainly be happy to and continue that either by making those adjustments or keeping as is. So a couple other quick items for me for announcements. Want to share out that we're getting into planning for some of our fall rec, including both registrations and for some job opportunities, including youth soccer officials, those types of things. And as we are in the month of August, National Night Out, fun event around town tomorrow. I look forward to connecting with some neighbors as I'm out and about with a few other staff. And then, of course, some items that you approved here as a group tonight, including the upcoming Sipes Car Show, Wheels of Italy, the the item with the chamber here the second week in September. So the next 6 to 8 weeks, we got a lot of fun things, especially downtown. Want to call out here upcoming opening a week from today, the 11th of August. Council approved a process for the renaming of Sanborn Park. This is something that we'll certainly continue to discuss as we go further, but have been getting out in some of our communication channels. Again, we'll formally open that here 1 week from today, the 11th of August. Please reach out to City Hall if you've got any questions about that process. Last couple items want to call out. 22nd of August, again, in the theme of summertime events, movie in the park. That's going to be, I believe, 8 p.m. A family-friendly showing of Dogman, for those familiar. Should be a good time there, again, the 22nd of August. And then do want to celebrate, we had some uncertainty earlier in the year, start a little bit later this process. The city will be taking on a Green Corps member this year, so we're excited for that. We'll push that start back to October this time around, but will similarly be about 10, 11 months, and we're gearing up that program. Do a lot of work with the water resources specialist, Forrester, and of course our sustainability coordinator, so be fun to have that person come aboard here come on here not too long. That's enough for me.
Thank you. All right, we will move to our council general communications. If we could start with Councilmember Greenberg.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks Tim for all the updates. Yeah, I mean, I guess along with that, the one thing I'll say is tomorrow night's National Night Out, so make sure you, if your block is having a party, or maybe find a block nearby that's having a party, but it's a great way to connect with neighbors and build community. So I know in our neck of the woods, it's always a great time, but I know there are going to be a lot of National Night Out parties tomorrow night, and excited to see a bunch of people out.
Great. Councilmember Wagner.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I'll just start by thanking staff, all levels of the city, for their response to the storm and the cleanup that followed. My next door neighbor had a big tree come down and it fell in their yard, and luckily barely missed their house. And it was blocking the sidewalk partially, but it wasn't like in the street or anything like that. But it was still, but the city still came out, I think, within like 36 hours and got rid of the whole mess. And they had a lot of stuff to clean up. So I just want to commend all the city staff for their tireless efforts to keep the roads clear and to keep Robbinsdale safe and to just clean up. So great job on that. Really, really appreciate it. In the consent agenda, we approved some stuff. The investment report, I just wanted to kind of call that out and say that, I just still feel like we're doing a great job with our finances as a whole. And I think that investment report kind of reflects that, even with how kind of uncertain the market has been the last 6 months. So I just wanted to highlight that. Also in the consent agenda, we approved like a contract to get one of the North Memorial facilities hooked up to the municipal water system. So I just want to keep bringing back that I appreciate the city working with the hospital to get them onto municipal water. I know it's been like a long time that project's been going on, and so it's finally seeing it starting to happen and getting things connected is really exciting to see. So again, thank you sincerely for that. Also in the consent agenda, we had a approval for a new playground in Manor Park, which is exciting. It looks really cool. I encourage residents to go check out the photos in the consent agenda, and that kind of leads into a question I had about communications around that announcement. Do we anticipate when we can kind of put that out there saying that we're doing this? Do we know?
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Wagner, be an item that now with approval we'd be happy to start getting out. I think with the order, part of we want to be sure we know a little bit more with time frame and timing, both to expect when current facilities might go away and new might come in, but we'll be happy to blast it from the rooftops.
Okay, great. Well, my thanks to staff and the park board for getting that forward and getting that to come into reality. So it's exciting stuff. And I'll save it with that'll all be all my comments for now. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, so I'll round us out with quite a few things that have already been highlighted. So wishing everyone a great and safe National Night Out tomorrow night. Also re-highlighting the Public Safety Open House, which is Saturday at the Public Safety Building from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. this coming Saturday. And then, as mentioned earlier, the recreation programs, the registration for those open today, which is exciting for the fall and winter offerings. So you can register for those at robbinsdalemn.gov/register. And then also, as mentioned, the Sanborn Park renaming submissions that is opening on the 11th. And to learn more about that, you can go to robbinsdalemn.gov/Sanborn renaming. And that is all from me. So with that, I will finalize by saying thanks for a smooth meeting, my first time running as Mayor
Good
Pro
job, good
Tem.
job.
So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. We are adjourned. Thank you.